Good morning, Ryan.
Morning, John. How are you doing today?
Everything's good today, and you?
Doing great, thank you. Amazing that we're already just about halfway through November. The time never stops flying.
When will it start snowing in Chicago?
It snowed on Sunday, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
so if I say that we have here in Bogota a beautiful day, weather with sunny, a beautiful 18 degrees, uh, it is not the best moment.
that's awesome. That's great. I love it. I love it. We have, this is what we get. I live in Chicago, so it's getting cold. Leaves are falling. The snow's actually melting. It's going to warm up for a couple days, and we'll see. But yeah, so well, glad to be here today. Just so for those of you who are watching, I'm Ryan McCall. I'm the CEO here at AnniQ, and with me is Jean Bernier.
Hey, I'm co-founder of AnniQ and supporting creating our AI agents. And Annie, he's in my back, making a mess. Let's show how Annie is
Yes,
preparing everything here.
she's getting a head start on Christmas decorations. It's a little too early for me. Me and Annie had a talk. Not yet. We need to wait a couple more weeks. Thanksgiving in the United States for me is the generally respected time when Christmas decorations can start popping up. But to each their own. Thankfully, sometimes Annie listens. Definitely, she always listens when we're working in the system, and that's kind of what we're here to talk about today. Is um, you know, so it's really awkward to have a only a 5 minute live streaming session. But that's all we really want to show everyone today is 5 minutes. 5 minutes of how quickly you can make an entire campaign using AnniQ. And so really you're just gonna have to listen to me and John ramble for 10 more minutes just to make it worth our time. But I think what's really important is people to understand just how easy it is to create truly hyper personalized social media marketing content using AnniQ and not just a single generic piece that a GPT can create for you. Instead, something that is fit to your brand, to your products, to your industry, to your customers, and to your buying personas. And that's what we're going to show you. So I think what really makes sense is let's dive in, give a quick overview of what we're looking at here. I'm going to show everyone just how quick it is to create some content. And while I'm doing that, Jean, maybe you can chime in a little bit and tell everyone about what they're seeing and the different boxes that I'm clicking through. Sound good?
Yes, sounds great. Something interesting to add, Ryan, it is any solve the consistency challenge for companies and content creation, not only with your brand message, it is also with your branding, your style, your communication, the arts part. It is everything in the consistency and that supports you how to save time and be sure that you have great, amazing content.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, here, let me share my screen for the platform. Hope everyone can see it here momentarily.
It is great. It is there. Let me hide here the QR.
All right. Make that a little bit bigger. All right. So, um, just for everyone's awareness, when you log into AnniQ, this is the screen you see. Now, this is after you set up your profile and your brand and connected your social media accounts and everything. But right here is your home screen, right? So this is gonna give you an idea of what your organization profile is. Shortcut link to your social digital channels for if you want to connect new ones. Um, Basically your what we call the communications manual, which is essentially your brand, logos, colors, call to actions, create content quick button, uh, quick view of upcoming publications, and then over here you'll see Annie, and Annie giving you an overview of your business, what you can do, some more quick connect buttons, and the chat box. So But we're going to do this. We're going to do this fast. I'm going to start clicking through and let Jean explain each box as I click through. So here we go. So we're just going to create some content.
Great. Amazing. And something interesting is how we use that right panel to have the any conversation. And you can have in the LED everything about your channels, your customer framework, everything about. So it is a co-creation, continuous collaboration with Annie. And well, we have here our content form. And we simplify the content process with this simple form. So you can start deciding campaign. So let's create a 7 days, 5 days campaign. The difference between campaigns and single content for our audience, it is how much content do you want? For many days, many social channels, or only one day? That is the single content. As Ryan is working here, you can decide when to start, when to finish your content, and that helps Annie to decide everything about how to create the content and the consistency and the message and campaign for those days. You need to decide which channels you want to use. So you have here all the channels that you have connected. So you can use as Ryan choose here, Facebook, LinkedIn, X. You can also work with Instagram. If you have Google My Business, you also could choose. So you can decide which channels you want to create content. And the interesting thing here it is Annie will create content and the circular process for all the channels that you decide. The next part it is about your audience. And Annie, in previous steps, understand your audience. So you only need to choose here your business model. In this case, the AnniQ business model. You can decide your journey. You can have many journeys if you want, and decide which stages of the journey you want to address in the content creation. And something interesting it is how Annie guides you to hyper personalized content creation. So you can have all the journey stages, but Annie only allows you to choose up to stages to address the content. If you want to choose more, the Annie will say something like create a new campaign. And something to highlight, Ryan choose two different stages, and Annie will understand that and helps you to create the content for that. So purchase and advocacy, it is two different stages in two parts of the funnel. One it is for the attraction, another it is for the loyalty process. And even that Annie can create and hyper personalize the content. After that, you need to decide which segment that you have want to address here. For hyper personalization, only one segment allowed. So Ryan decides small and medium business. You can go dive deeper in this part with the segment. You can decide which ideal customer profile you want to use. Remember that the ideal customer profile is that representation from those clients, customers, or people that you say this is my perfect, that score 10 over 10 for my company. When you choose your ideal customer profile, Annie goes deeper and said you can also choose your difference persona. And Annie helps you to understand users, buyer, anti-personas, decision maker. So you can choose here which personas you want to address in the process. Again, up to personas, you can decide if you choose more and you say, well, you need to create another campaign. This is very simple. You can make faster than the explanation process. After that, you can decide the style, the creativity level you want to address here. And this is where Ryan and me have our disagreement. I always like the sarcasm. Uh, Ryan doesn't like the use the sarcasm, but it is on you. It is on your brand, how you want to communicate. I like humor, jokes. So you have broad options here, and you can use as much as you want, and Annie will find the formula for you. The next part here it is that is great. You can play with all of them. It is you need to give to Annie a small insight about what you want to communicate in this specific campaign. And when I say it, a small one, this is maybe one of the most powerful things with Annie. You don't need to care about the perfect prompt, the best prompt framework or anything like. You don't need to focus in which is the best large language model for your campaign. You only need to focus on your business, on what you want in your audience, and say something simple. If we start with 120 characters, it is less than an X post. It is something simple and explain. I want something like this. Ryan is saying here a campaign across all my channels with as many posts as possible each day on each channel, advocating how year end budgets needs to be used before they are low. And that AnniQ can use fraction of that budget to grow your social presence. Amazing. Something simple as this. Why is that powerful thing? Annie really knows in deep process everything about your company because learn from your website, from your conversations, your interactions, and Annie really knows your audience. Get information every day from your analytics in your social channels and improve that feedback and process. And also research on internet to find better information and create better content for this. So simple prompt here, simple instruction. You don't need to focus on all the things that the AI expert says. This is the best formula for prompting, for content creation, for image, for infographic, for video, because Annie solves for you. Next part, you can choose which style you want to use. And that is interesting. We have only one style here for AnniQ, but imagine that you have many products or something like this, different colors and branding. You can use and any have that consistency for you. You can use as much call to action you want for this campaign. If you let automatic, and it will decide for you. But maybe you can say, no, I have this one or two or three specific call to actions. I want to choose them, and it will use those call to actions. And the last part, this switch, it is very interesting. It is on you. You can decide to auto-publish content and let Annie creates and publish directly for you in the social media that you choose, or you can approve each content and review. And that allows you to approve, reject, or bring feedback to recreate the content. So it is on you. Once you have everything ready here, only need to create or hit the button create content, and Annie will start creating the full content campaign for you. All the planning for the content pieces, discovering the message, understanding your audience, researching on internet, using the analytics, planning which are the best content formats for each day for each channel. So imagine something like this. In the meanwhile, Annie is creating here and those bubbles is moving. Let's talk about Instagram. Instagram, you can create content for the feed, that the squares that you have and the scroll down. But you can also have content on your stories, the small boxes that you have when you open the social media. And you also can create content for reels, three different places in the same channel to create content. Any understand that and focus that content creation. So something that could happen, it is Annie said, I will create a video for that campaign in Instagram. But the video will be posted in the feed with some text or something that accompany the process, but also will share the video as a story and also in the reel. Everything for you. So that is how any help you and support the content creation. Same will happen, for example, with Facebook. They have similar process. So that you have the feed. The difference between Facebook and Instagram, and Annie understand that it is in Facebook you can share links, you can have first comment. So Annie could add that for that video and could add longer text because Facebook allows that experience because it's different audience, it's different analytics and user experience. and also share the stories, the reels for you. So it is everything here how Annie solves for you. In the meanwhile, you can see a brief what Annie is thinking and creating for you in this process. And uh, uh, it is, well, 1 week content. So just think in this. You have 1 week content, 7 days, four different channels. So in the minimum case, you have seven multiplied by four. So it is 28 content pieces that any is crafting, designing, thinking here. Uh, as Ryan said, we have to talk more today because only 5 minutes live will be bored. So Annie creates 28 content pieces in minutes for you.
And I think, John, one thing that's interesting is, Annie's thinking right now. All the user has to do is the process that we dragged out for about 5 minutes. That could be done in 30 seconds, a minute, if you already know what you want your campaign to be, right? And so once you click submit, walk away, go do something else, get a cup of coffee, and just let Annie think. It's your job is done here. And here we are. And then we get the brief of our campaign, right? So this isn't necessarily what the campaign is going to look like. It is just an idea of here we go. Annie's created this. And then what we can do is use either our see content plan button here or our content plan button here. Go over to our calendar and you see the content screen, which is going to show you all of your different pieces of content, your campaign, which here's the one we just created. Don't lose your budget, automate for 2026. Shows you all of all the planned content that Annie's been creating over that week. Adjust from month, week, and day. So what I'm going to do is go to week. This is this week, the campaign that I created. Okay. Then we can go into the content. And it's going to show you everything that Annie's been creating. And now, also, it's worth noting that, not everything may show up right away. Annie takes time and she adds the posts to your calendar as she creates them. But you'll see all these different campaigns we've had running. So there's three going this week. Next week, updating here. So Annie's still thinking about it, updating for this next week. Switch over to content posts. Here we go.
I want to interrupt you, Ryan. We have one comment in our live session from Mauricio Ruiz, one of our best early adopters. And he said here, any is best for me, the best discovery that allowed me to buy quality time for better manage my business. Thanks to Mauricio to be with us here.
Yes, Mauricio, thank you so much. And so what you're seeing here is you're just seeing a preview of the campaign. Now, because I selected manual approval, so when every piece of content is ready to be posted, either the day before or the day of, Annie will email me, Annie will ask me to approve the content. I will click through. It'll take me back to the platform here. Will show me exactly what the piece of content is going to look like. And it'll give me the options to approve it to post, reject it, or recreate it. And so let's say Annie made a mistake and there's a typo, or you don't like the infographic that she created, or you just would prefer it be worded differently. You can tell Annie to recreate it with a little comment, and then she will recreate the post with your comments in mind, and then try and post it again either later that day or the next day.
It is beautiful how this week content planning you see. It is simple, it is fast how you can create content with Annie. And the best it is you can fill your channels with real engagement communication every time without spend a lot of hours on this process.
Absolutely. I mean, could you imagine, John, how much time it would take to create this many posts? Even if you created one post for, say, LinkedIn, and then repurposed it for 3 other channels. I mean, it would be. I mean, this is an entire marketing team for a week to create this many posts. This is minutes of work using AnniQ.
Yes. Even using generative AI, Ryan, just creating the image, the content, and waiting for the AI response to you. And you need to create the content, and after that, publishing. It takes at least 20 minutes in the best case per content piece. And if you need to create 28 as the same process, just multiply that. So we are talking more than 4 or 5 hours of your time or your marketing team creating content using the best AI solutions that there are, but with any that is something from other world, any it is the alien for content creation. So it simplifies for you in minutes, 5 minutes. So that pushes us to fill the session with a chat with us.
Yep. I think we've rambled on enough, John. So hopefully everyone who enjoyed watching this, or hope you enjoyed watching this, at least got an understanding of, we took 5 minutes to fill out that form. I can fill that form out in a minute. All you need is your idea. You need your idea. You jump on the platform, click, 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 type 2 sentences, and he's off and running. And your social media is filled for the next week or month, or for however long you want a campaign to run. There's really no limit. So, but yeah, with that, thank you, John, so much. And we will talk to everybody hopefully next week. And Mauricio, thank you for your question as well.
Great. Thanks, Ryan. Have a nice day. Thanks
You
to
too.
our audience.